All right, hey there, class. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about argumentative essay writing. It's one of the four elements of the AP exam in terms of the written portion. And for a lot of students, it's the one that scares them the most. But hopefully, at the end of this, I break it down a little bit so you're a little bit more confident in your abilities to get this done and get that 5. So, first thing we want to talk about is the AP argumentative essay is going to take the same format no matter what question you have. You're going to get an introductory little prompt setting up the question. In this case, it's talking about federalism. And then College Board is going to provide you with some foundational documents or elements of the course that you have to use during your response. So in this case, when talking about federalism, you'd have to talk about the Articles of Confederation, Brutus I, or Federalist 10. Now, the nice thing is you get a little checklist. Here are all the things that you need to do during the course of this essay. First is about the claim or the thesis. This is the key part. You have to be able to make a claim. Here's what I believe about this prompt, and then I'm going to start backing it up. If you've got the thesis down, that opens up a whole lot of avenues for you to succeed and thrive on this exam. Now, the next thing they need you to do is to support your claim with 2 pieces of evidence. One has to be from that list. So we go back up here in the prompt, the sample prompt, you have to use one of these. If you don't, you're going to lose points. So you have to use one of these. Now, the second piece of evidence can also come from this list, or it could be something else that you remember from the course that you think applies. Then, finally, you need to think about the alternative perspectives, not just your own ideas, but might someone that opposes your views think? Talk about that, and then maybe you can refute it, or you concede that they have a good point, or you have a rebuttal to that argument. But you have to address the alternate perspectives. Now, what I've tried to do for you is in this writing document, so you're going to have the video and you're going to have the written document to work off of. So in this written document, it kind of breaks it down for you. So you can kind of get a mental picture of what you're organizing here. First is, what is the question about? What is really the root of this question? That's why when I showed you the sample, I went right to it's about federalism. So that gets your mindset going to what you're going to be doing. Then it's the claim or the thesis. What can I say about this? Do I have a line of reasoning? Then you're going to get into your evidence. And for each piece of evidence, this is where students lose the points. It's the reasoning part, explaining how or why the evidence you're using supports the claim. So you got to close that loop. You got to tie your evidence back to your thesis. If you do that, you're golden. And then the last thing is the alternative perspective. Do you identify it? Do you describe it? And do you refute it? Or do you rebut it? Or do you concede points to it? But you have to address that alternative perspective. So what that breaks down then to is the points. And it is a 6-point argument essay. You get a point for your claim. You get a point for each piece of evidence. Then you get some points worked into the reasoning. And I know this kind of looks a little jumbled, like topic evidence, reasoning. If you back up your points, you're going to get those argument points. And then finally, the alternative view. So it's just step by step by step. You do what they ask in the prompt, you're going to get the points. So then the last thing I provided you with is a template. And so this helps you when I give you that sample question a little bit, helps you make your roadmap to where you're going to take it. So in the opening paragraph, your thesis, which is not a repetition of the question, and then your roadmap. Where am I going to take you? How am I going to argue this? Paragraph 1 and paragraph 2, same things that I talked about. Select the evidence and back it up. Tie it back to your theme and thesis. And then finally, that alternative claim, refute it, and then conclude your paragraph, conclude your essay with your own claim. So that's simple, straightforward ways to maximize your points on the AP exams argument essay. I know the title argument essay gets you a little anxiety ridden, but the more we practice it, going through this video, going through the template, you can see that it's really straightforward and an easy way for you to scoop up some points on the exam.